Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we're looking at a lick from the all-time blues master, that is B.B King. This is a really fantastic lick and it's got a couple of his real trademark kind of things going on. So let's get to a close-up and have a look. Okay, a little slower. Okay, so we're starting this lick with the third finger on the 12th fret of the thinnest string. We do a tone bend, bring it back down, play the 12th fret again, and then the 10th fret of the second string with the first finger, where we want to get a little bit of that kind of B.B King very fast vibrato going on. Then we're going to the second finger in the 11th fret of the third string, with a little slide up to it. Then first finger in the 10th fret, second string, roll it over onto the thinnest string. Then third finger goes down in the 12th fret of the second string for a tone bend. Bring it back down. Then 10th fret, first finger. Then we've got the third finger or the fourth finger in the 12th fret of the thinnest string. And then to the 10th fret of the second string with a little bit of vibrato. So the count for this: 1 triplet, 2, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet, 2, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 and 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about what's going on here, because it's kind of interesting. This is using the BB blues box, a lot of people call it. Which are these notes here: 12th fret, 10th fret, 12th fret, 10th fret, and an 11th fret on the third string. This is in the key of A. So there's your root note. Really important to realize here that if it was the major pentatonic, we'd be doing that, including the note C sharp. If it was the minor pentatonic, we'd be using this note. So there's the root note, minor pentatonic, major pentatonic, but this is neither. It's a really, really interesting little kind of mixture of the two. It's not major, which would have this C sharp note in it, and it's not minor, which would have the note C in it. It's neither. But what's really cool about it is the fact that particularly this note here, the note B, which is the 9th in the key of A, you could bend a semitone to get up to the note C, or a tone bend, which is the one that we've got in this, which bends it up to the note C sharp, so we could have major pentatonic sound or minor pentatonic. It's part of the genius of this little BB's box. I'm pretty sure he wasn't thinking major pentatonic or minor pentatonic. He was just thinking, you know, these notes sound great over all of the chords of the 12-bar blues, but knowing that he can do a tone bend there, and that as soon as you do the tone bend on that note, you're hitting that note C sharp, which comes out of the A7 chord and really makes it fit only over the A7. It wouldn't sound good over the D7, but that note sounds great over the D7. So he quite often's using this sort of bend here for the A7, then a little semitone bend to get for the D7. A. Really, really interesting kind of lines that he can get using this little box here, the BB Blues box. Now, also important little things here to recognize. First of all is his vibrato. Very, very fast vibrato. Now, there's some lessons online that you can find of BB explaining the vibrato himself, so I'll put links to those on my website. But really the idea here, if you know other vibrato lessons I've done, you either have the thumb reaching over and you're creating a bit of a kind of a lever here with the edge of your first finger to create the vibrato, or you do it Eric Clapton style, where the hand is not touching the neck at all and you pull the string up and down. But BB's is neither. He actually doesn't touch the guitar. I can't do it like that. I have to have a little bit of a lever there, so my first finger's still touching. But you can find it easier to get it kind of closer to his style than doing it his way, which is not having any of the finger on. And I can't do it. It makes me feel really uncoordinated. I need to be touching on there. But so if you really want to get his vibrato down, you know, all I'm doing is trying to copy it myself and trying to copy it that way. Really important not to pull it off too much and make it out of tune. Make sure you keep going back to the tonic of the note there. But you can check out BB if you want to get really his, you know, find out how he's doing it exactly, which I'd highly recommend. And the other real trademark thing is this, where he's doing this note at the 12th fret, and then there's a little gap before he hits that note. It's not, it's like a little gap, one trip left. One trip left, with a little pause in between, a little mute. Okay, also noting here as well that as soon as he's doing that, this is really working over the A7, right? If you wanted that the same lick to work over a D7, just make that a semitone bend. Sounds great. For the A7, just by adjusting whether that bend is a tone or a semitone. There are lots of different ways of playing this lick, but the one that I think sounds closest to B.B King is to use all down picks. After watching some videos, that looks like his kind of a style. He does use up picks as well, but for this kind of lick, all down picks works. If I was doing kind of reverting back to what I feel most comfortable with, it'd be down, up, down, down. Or down, up, down, down, up, down. Doesn't really matter which your choice is there. Just make sure on that last one, you're getting a mute. So you play that note, muting, and then stopping. B.B King is often considered the chairman of the board of the great blues guitar players, and it's pretty easy to see why if you start studying his solos. He's a real proper genius. Just using his simple B.B King blues box, he's really making the changes much like a jazz guitar player would. That means that every lick that you learn, you really want to understand what's happening harmonically, so you need a little bit of harmonic understanding, a little bit of music theory, particularly understanding the difference between the major and the minor pentatonic, and how you would use either of the notes C sharp and C to be playing over the A chord or the D chord in a 12-bar blues in the key of A, because all of the licks that we're doing are going to be in the key of A, just to keep things nice and simple. But yeah, really having an understanding and doing a little bit of analysis of one of his solos, if you transcribe a solo of his and then try and work out what every note is doing over every chord. Really try and figure out that relationship between the notes that he's playing and the chords that he's playing over. It's actually not that complicated. It's not like doing a difficult jazz tune, but it is important to be able to use these licks in the right places. So hope you enjoyed playing this one, and I'll see you for plenty more licks very soon. You take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.